Chapter 73. Alright, folks, so last off, what we do recall is that Code has his limiter removed, clearly, and with that ability, with that event taking place, he was able to successfully create these seemingly 10-tail sort of creatures from clawing the 10-tail beast, right? So he's essentially going to use these creatures to do his bidding, and he also implied that he can make a boundless amount of them, right? He said with the limiters, he can only make a certain amount of them. So essentially, he split the 10 tails into smaller chunks of chakra to create these creatures. And last off, I believe he was saying that he was going to go to the leaf and, you know, maybe try to get revenge or whatever the case may be. So that's where we last left off. Let's see what takes place. All right, so chapter 73, a special mission. Let's see what this entails of. By the way, folks, let me know, again, if the music's too loud. Here we go. Alright, so, what could it be? A mission only our team can carry out. We've been out of action for so long, this is quite sudden. It must be something big. Alright, so this is Team 7. Boruto, Boruto, Mitsuki, and Sarada. Maybe it's as simple as Uncle Shikamaru finally realizing that we're the most brilliant team in the whole village. Kawaki will be with us, so it'll be the launch of the new Team 7 with this time. Okay. So they're starting to accept Kawaki more so, which is good. Alright. Okay, now we see Kawaki in the, I believe, the Hokage's office with Shikamaru. Kawaki, speaking of which, this is the first time I've seen him since I've came back to life. Interesting. So this is the first time they've interacted since Kawaki implemented their plan, right? So. Sorry, folks, I didn't want that playing. I want the song on repeat because it's goated. Let's continue on. Yo, I can't believe you revived yourself. Talk about a shock. Yeah, sorry for all the fuss, but as you can see, I'm perfectly fine now. Okay. You're not going to condemn me for killing Boruto. You definitely look well, Boruto. I'm so relieved. Okay. Class rep. Sorry to have worried you. Long time no see. Alright, let's continue on. Seems like there's some awkwardness in, between Kawaki and Boruto. I mean, rightfully so, it makes sense. Okay, guys, enough fun for the day. Sorry for the sudden summons, but let me jump right to the heart of it. Alright. Konoha Village is dealing with various issues right now. Well, that's true for any village all the time, but Konoha has been subject to especially perilous situations lately. First, Boruto. For quite a while now, we've had no idea when Momoshiki might take over your consciousness and run amok, yet not only have we not found any concrete solutions, your physical body has now become completely Otsutsuki. I'm not liking the sound of this. Next to you, Kawaki. Alright, so Shikamaru is just laying the law of the land here. Not that you were ever docile, but now that you got karma back plus Ishiki's abilities, you're an entity we can no longer control at all. I mean, I'm glad he acknowledges that, because that is the truth. Even if, unlike Boruto, there's no risk of Ishiki actually possessing you anymore, from the standpoint that we can't keep that power in check. Frankly, as the ones responsible for maintaining the peace and order of this village, we have to treat you as a threat. Okay. He's being honest, at least. Trying to give off the notion that Kawaki's just a threat, straight up. And he's going to be honest about it. Hey, why don't you just come out and say it? Let's not get defensive. What Master Shikamaru is saying is the plain truth. It's the current state of Konoha. He's just making sure we know that. That's right. I feel bad having to put it so bluntly to you, but Konoha is currently bearing these two giant bombs right now. So I wanted to start off with all of you fully aware of this. There's more. A model called not too long ago. We didn't know his fate after Code abducted him, but it seems he's okay. Alright. Interesting. Continuing on. So far, these interactions are interesting. Alright, they're kind of telling, I suppose. Let's continue on, though. Alright. He survived. Persistent bastard. We still don't know exactly what he got out of danger, how he got out of danger, but in the process, it seems he rescinded the limiters, suppressing Code's power. Damn it, what is wrong with that old man? I'm sure it was unavoidable. In any case, he's full power restored. With his full power restored, I hear Code's strength exceeds even Jigen's. whom it took both Naruto and Sasuke together to drive back. Keep in mind, folks, this was a full power Naruto and Sasuke, pre-Baryon mode, of course. So we can make a power scaling assessment here and say, well, Code without his limiters removed is beyond, at bare minimum, the Jigen that whipped Naruto and Sasuke's ass, right? Before the vessel Jigen started to deteriorate, which is very telling. Then again, it should be still less than Otsutsuki Ishiki. Alright, this is the first distinction that I think is very telling. So, Shikamaru said, then again, it should still be less than Ishiki Otsutsuki, indicating that it's more than likely that no limiter code is still inferior to Ishiki, right, when he is emerged as his true Otsutsuki form. That's very telling. So that gives us some sort of power scaling to go off of here. Power scaling assessment. So while he's definitively a formidable foe, we should be able to deal with him. So here's my question, right? Shikamaru stating these things. This is why I extrapolate. 1, does he believe that Kawaki and Boruto can reach levels that are at least relative to Baryon mode Naruto, right? Not that, again, not that no code limiter is relative to Ishiki, because Shikamaru seems to assess that he's not. But either way, if we're talking about a guy that's in between, let's say, power level of Jigen and the power level of Ishiki, that's still a gargantuan power level, clearly, because Naruto and Sasuke failed to defeat him, and now they're nerfed. Alright, so the question is, does Shikamaru have enough faith in Kawaki and Boruto to take on no limiter code? Seemingly he does, because he says they should be able to deal with him. Again, these aren't concrete statements. He's not definitively saying anything, but he's implying what he thinks is best. So that's very telling to me as well, power scaling wise. Shikamaru is one of the most intelligent beings in the verse. So it's not like what he's saying is, you know, outlandish or an extremely emotionally based claim. You know, I think with what he says, he thinks it through, and I think that's an easy presupposition to have based off his history and his abilities. So keep that in mind, folks. I think that's very interesting. Don't tell me our mission is for us to take down Code using Boruto and Kawaki's Otsutsuki powers. No, that's not it. Yesterday, when Code attacked us in Lab 3, a certain woman showed up. A woman. Her name is Ida. Some of you may have already heard, but her ability instantly enchants everyone in her presence and renders them powerless. Ida. Even I couldn't do a thing. It was a first for me. Delta and I could have dealt with Code. Really? So Shikamaru believes that Code and that him and Delta could have dealt with Code. Interesting. Okay. It's very telling to me. Then how we're supposed to stand against someone like that? We only learned this afterward, but there's a hole in her ability, apparently. Otsutsuki are immune to its effect. Interesting. You mean, at present, Boruto and Kawaki, these two bomb brats Konoha is harboring, are one and only battle asset against Ida's ability. Interesting. Interesting. So, we can extrapolate some things from this as well, right? So, we know that Boruto is an organic full Otsutsuki. However, we can kind of give a round of applause to Amato, because if Shikamaru's assessing that, you know, the synthetic replication of Ishiki's karma is so well done that he's basically an organic Otsutsuki, that speaks testaments to Amato's intelligence as well, because he was able to essentially engineer this sort of concoction. So that's very telling. And apparently these two are the only ones that are immune to Ida's ability of enchanting and seemingly manipulating your will, right? I would kind of compare it to the Konomatsukami a little bit. So kind of similar in some ways. Alright, so our mission is to take down Ida. Yep. Continue on. Nope, that's not it either, huh? Okay. So now jumps to Ida and the train with Amato and Damon. I wonder what Shika Deer is planning. What do you mean? First code, now Ida looks like a heap of problems. So what are we supposed to quit holding back and just tell us what our mission is? Relax, I'm getting to it. The crucial part now. Ida originally showed up in front of us as Code's ally and collaborator. However, my and Amato's plan bore fruit, and as a result, she cut her ties with Code. What do you mean? Okay, so he's spilling the beans on how Ida kind of switched sides here. Essentially, Code is now on his own. He may have regained full power, but he lost his powerful comrades. Well, it's great news, cut ties, but then what's Ida's status now? She's currently heading there to Konoha. She's currently heading here to Konoha. Okay. What the? You mean she just jumped ship to our side? That's right. And there lies the issue. All skills and jutsu are powerless thanks to her ability, and the Hokage's power and influence mean nothing to her. She doesn't need to follow anyone's orders. If she wanted to, it wouldn't be difficult for her to take over not just Konoha or the land of fire, but the entire world. I'm not exaggerating. That's how much freedom she has. Okay, so he's kind of giving credit to her prowess, to Ida's prowess, right? You get it right. We've got to avoid making an enemy at her at all costs. And to that end, I devised this mission of ours. Okay. It wouldn't be an overstatement to say that it all hinges on your actions, whether Ida ends up as a friend or foe to Konoha. Alright, what do you want us to do? Cohabitate. What's cohabitate mean? Live together. You're kidding, right? Okay. Not at all. We're being absolutely serious. Listen, it's not going to be like some Ultra Fun Team 7 boarding issue. The only ones cohabitating will be Boruto, Kawaki, and Ida. What? Smart, because she can't manipulate them, so in worst case scenario, they fight her. Right? She can't enchant them and distort and manipulate their will, I guess you could say. Right? So. What's the matter, Ida? Living together from the get-go. That ain't funny. What for? Yeah, we don't have time for fun and games. Hold on, I think I got it. This mission's goal. Surveillance, right? Good intuition, correct. I'm already explained Ida's level of risk. Normally, regulations would dictate that she be monitored. However, our usual methods would likely end up getting compromised because there is a chance that the Watchers would voluntarily do things that are favorable to her. Correct. Even if Ida herself didn't deliberately try anything. Right. That's a good analysis of Ida's ability. In that respect, Otsutsuki won't become captives of hers, thus only Boruto Kawaki can fill those roles. Right. So we're to be her watchdogs to make sure Ida doesn't stir up mischief. That's right. In any case, at the very least determine how willing she is to cooperate with Konoha. Alright. What do I learn? What did I do to earn this? Besides, what if she decides not on board with this plan? She's not on board. If that's the case, she'll have to give up her chance to be allowed inside Konoha. This is a safety measure that we cannot budge on. Alright. I see his point because there is no other option. They can't fight her one-on-one. It'd be meaningless. Right? Only Boruto and Kawaki could possibly be immune to it. So it would be pointless, right? But isn't that too forceful a starting stance? Well, we don't want to do anything to piss her off, of course, but we need to draw the line somewhere. We'll end up tightening the noose around our own necks if we give her the upper hand with a weak deal. Besides, I have a feeling that she'll be game about this cohabitation proposal. Any specific grounds for thinking so? It's awkward for me to be saying this, but since it's crucial to the success of the mission, Ida's got a crush on you, Kawaki. Here we go with Sakura 2.0. There you have it, folks. Sakura 2.0 is Ida. Unfortunately. What? For real? Yes, for real, Boruto and Kawaki. For real. He said it. Shika dear, how could you? What happened? Ida's obviously like using her mental capability to hear and read Shikamaru's thoughts or whatever. What happened? Have they been talking about since earlier? What have they been talking about since earlier? Whoa, you're okay, big sis. Your heart's but dumping out of this world. I might die before we reach Konoha. But don't worry, Damon. It's fine. In fact, it's more than fine. This is exactly what I've been seeking. Right now, I am truly fatally in love. Jesus Christ. So this is her motivation. Guys, let me take a second here. This is her motivation, right? Her motivation is dick. Her motivation is a fellow shinobi's dick. That's her motivation, folks. Wow. That's just telling to me. Daunting. So this is the the storyline we're supposed to get behind. A girl that wants dick, that has that is all powerful compared to everyone else in the showy world. Because she wants dick, she's gonna cooperate. There is no intricate, complex ideology inside of her head. It's simply just a crush, and she wants dick. Wow, that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's continue on. This is Ida's #1 reason for coming to Konoha. Kawaki, I don't want to intrude on your private life or personal feelings, but just be really careful how you react toward her. I ain't exaggerating when I say that Konoha's future hinges on your conduct. Damn it, for real? Hey, any other person crushes on Ida, right? So she's got a huge pool to pick from. Why go after Kawaki, on whom her ability doesn't work? This is purely a guess on my part. Isn't it a bit distasteful to think that someone likes you because of any innate ability or some jutsu of yours? I think that this Miss Ida wants to experience a completely ordinary romance. This is very meaningless to me. I want to get some true cold moments coming. I don't want to see people talking about bitches, like about individuals wanting dick. Come on, dude. Not that I know her. Not that I know for sure. I don't get it. That's just plain illogical. Maybe she's stupid. Seems like it. Seems like it, Kawaki. By the way, you should avoid saying bad things about her. Ida can see everything and hear it all. She has those abilities too. What the heck? No way. Are you serious? She might not be watching us this minute, but it seems she can also replay past events, like skimming through a video recording. For real, that's way beyond cheating. At any rate, everything being said here should be considered leaked. Of course, I'm disclosing your mission to you, knowing that. The diplomatic maneuvering has already begun, right, Ida? So in short, you want us to monitor Ida and play nice with her as much as possible. Okay, yup, that would be the most appreciated by we of Konoha. I really don't like this. I'd much rather throw myself out code. I don't blame you, brother. Be that as it may, it's downright impossible to nail that pastor's location, but if we gain Ida's help, we'll know his movements precisely. Okay. And you, Boruto, your job doesn't consist of you just monitoring Ida. You'll be there to mediate between Kawaki and Ida too. We can't see Kawaki managing all this alone, so it might seem overblown, but remember the two of them not hitting it off. It means that Konoha's future is in peril as well. No way, that's the attitude you should have, got it? This mission is annoying. Agreed. In addition, Sarada and Mitsuki, you'll be watching the three of them from outside together with me. Your main job will be sending us status reports, but you're to jump in and defuse the situation if any trouble breaks out. Wipe your teammates' butts for them, as it were, since we have no idea when Boruto might run amok again. That being said, how much Ida's influence will affect each of you is still an unknown factor. The sentry until will be continuously supporting you, but report any odd behaviors you see in each other right away so we can deal with it. Okay? Continuing on. So far, folks, it's a disappointing chapter, to be quite honest. I mean, I already knew of Ida's, ideology and what her shallow and superficial desires were, but I expected more towards, as we progressed. Listen, no matter how difficult a situation you're in, there's an order of priority to the actions you ought to take. And the more extreme the circumstances, the faster you need to determine what that is. As advisor to Hokage, that's the overwhelming bulk of my work. Thus, to tackle the issues that we need to resolve preferentially, I came up with this plan. I'm not asking whether you can do it or not. Rather, it's will you do it or not. The answer is obvious. God damn, I can't speak right now. Apologies, folks. Since there doesn't seem to be any option to say no. Okay, now we jump to Sasuke and Naruto. We're getting to the good parts here, folks. This is what I want to see. People actually care about. It's not just Ida and Kawaki. Boruto is a target of the monitoring too. This is glorified house arrest. Though if you authorized it, I have no say in the matter. Both Boruto and Kawaki are the type to rush into a fight even against someone they have no chance of defeating. They wouldn't meekly obey if we ordered them to stand aside. Correct. I agree completely. By assessing them a mission and giving them responsibility, you put them cleverly under control. It's a very Shikamaru-like ploy. Correct. At least we'll know what they're up to. Better than dying who knows where. Correct. Listen, anything could happen on this mission. There might even be times where you won't be able to wait for orders. In such cases, you have to play it by ear within your own respective role. What? Just now? What's the matter? Something has taken place, folks. What happened? Oh shit! Who the fuck? Is this Ten-Tails? What is this? This feeling is similar to that day. I wonder. Shikadir, you have such intriguing ideas. And that's the end of the chapter, folks. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So, let's break this chapter down. The whole premise of this chapter was the mission. And to sum it up very quickly, the mission is to gaslight Ida and take advantage that she has a seemingly crush on Kawaki and manipulate her to their bidding so that she may be loyal to Konoha and help them aid them in their conquest to defeat No Limiter Code. Alright, so Shikamaru acknowledged that power scaling wise, no one can take Code on, and that also no one could even get in the vicinity of Ida, right, whatever that radius specifically is, because she will simply manipulate your will, similar to how did I forget his name off the top of my... Shishui's Kodomatsukami. It's very similar to that in that manner. You don't even know that you're being controlled. Your will is being manipulated and contorted to the user's bidding, right? So only Boruto and Kawaki are immune to it because they're Otsutsuki DNA, right? That's ingrained in their very being. So that's essentially the plan. And it was I would acknowledge that it is a very clever one because it gives them a sense of responsibility. They don't have, they have big egos, just like Naruto and Sasuke once did, right? When they used to be Genin and they wanted real missions and not, these whack-ass missions of catching cats and shit like that. So having this mission puts weight on their shoulders, which is what they want. They want to be useful. They want to prove themselves to the shinobi world. So what better mission than taking care of a female cyborg that could destroy the world, right? That could seemingly do whatever the fuck she wants, including rewinding time to know what the fuck people are saying and literally listening in on people's conversations from, who knows, tens to hundreds, possibly thousands of miles away. That's what she's capable of. Which is fucking crazy, by the way. Extremely, extremely telling. So that was essentially the mission that broken down. The chapter was, honestly, to give my thoughts, kind of mid. I just don't appreciate this like Sakura 2.0 type of vibe I get with Ida. I really don't appreciate it. Like, I want a real female antagonist, not some bitch that wants dick. Essentially, that's what she is. She has all the power in the world, but again, I'm not exactly emotionally appealed to her. Same thing with the other cyborgs. Don't really care for them. I just wish they would switch off this whole female, typical female timeline or storyline. Like, it gets old, man. Like, we had this shit with Sakura for like 700 episodes. Why do we gotta have this shit with Ida too? Like, can't you have like real ideologies? Like, I don't know, maybe loyalty to someone or something, or I don't know, like something, man. It's just fucking crazy to me. Like that's the purpose that she wants to have. That's her purpose. That's what the writers decided. It's just kind of disappointing to me. I don't know. I want the polarizing storyline. You don't see Madara, wanting to destroy the world because of some bitch. Like, oh, you can argue that Obito was like that because of Rin's death, but even he had more intricate complexities than fucking Ida. So it's just like, wow, So yeah, that's my thoughts on the chapter. As far as power scaling, it was pretty telling. We have the fact that No Limiter Code is somewhere within the range of Jigen's power level and Ishiki's. So he's above Jigen, but below Ishiki. According to Shikamaru, it's highly implied that that's the case. And he gave a telling statement later on and said we should be able to deal with Code. And he even said that him and Delta could have dealt with Code, and that they couldn't deal with Ida because of her problematic ability. That's very telling as well. You could interpret that in several ways, right? You could say maybe Delta and Shikamaru have the power level or the ability, the physical tangibles to deal with him, or you can make a different argument and say, well, they more so have the hacks for it. You could argue that as well. But the point is that you can make some arguments based off these statements that were told. Again, they're not concrete, right? This is Shikamaru's intuition and more so rational arguments and claims. It's not more so an empirically based statement. So keep that in mind as well, if you want to, you know, extrapolate the power scaling aspects of this chapter. There are quite a few of them. But Shikamaru has doubled down on saying that Naruto and Sasuke are useless now, right? They can't fuck with Code, they can't fuck with Ida. They are unfit for the job because they simply lack the power now, right? They simply lack the power to deal with them. So it's very telling. It's very telling. But yeah, folks, that was my thoughts on the chapter. I hope this. What's going on, Chidori? Man, I still haven't seen anything or Boruto past Volume 1, whatever, little spoilers here and there. Yeah, it's pretty mid. You know, the ideologies of the antagonists are pretty mid and disappointing, not polarizing. You know, definitely not the type of ideology that Madara had. You know, still sounds like people don't like it. Yep, it's pretty much the case. Unfortunately, I'm very disappointed. You know, I'm very disappointed that the writers choose to create these superficial and just shallow ass ideologies and purposes of these antagonists. You know, Code, I mean, there's still hope for him. You know, he's a loyal follower of the Otsutsuki way. That's not exactly a shallow and superficial ideology. You know, maybe that's something that the viewers and readers can get behind. But Ida is already a lost cause, or getting close to it, as far as her being taken seriously. You know, if the first thing is her having a crush, like, come on, well, how are we going to become attached to a character like that? So, disappointing indeed.